Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy in Comics. And my slabs arrived. You have no idea how happy I've been. I've received these things for a little over a week. Been excited not only to receive the books, them in particular, back from CGC, but also the grades in which that I received. Prior in which that I want to go ahead and show them to you. I want to go ahead and take the moment and say, for those of you who cruise on in on the rewind, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you. Truly and sincerely, I really do. And those that are catching me on the live, well, hey, let's go ahead and take the moment and say hi. First off, as always, dude, as I can't say enough times, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, Las Cruces. I hope all is well. And Trev, you're the man. Look at you. Yeah, you know what? In my opinion, they may not be the traditional old school bangers, but they are, in my opinion, bangers nonetheless, only for the sake of, I like to get rares. You know, even if it's modern, especially if it's modern, I like to get something that many either don't have or nobody has but me. That's just how I like to collect. It isn't saying just necessarily so I can tout out and go, look, I got what you don't, or hey, look, I have the only one, as much as obviously something uniquely different meant something to me. That usually doesn't mean much to most. And that's why I get it slabbed. You know, as they many a times say, kind of collect what you like. And especially that and what that means a lot to you for whatever reason, sentimental, whatever you attach to it. Well, again, that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, why you might want to get something at least considered slabbed. So let's go ahead and get into it. Truly, let's check it out. You guys ready? Oh, wait. I did miss one. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you being here. And let's check out what I got. All right, so this is what it is. I end up going to a signing event, two of them, late November, mid-November. And the first place I ended up going to was Things from Another World, located at Universal Studios in Burbank, California. I went to that signing event in particular because they also had some exclusives that were being sold through Things from Another World, in which that they only had a few there, and the other ones around the nation were being spread out too. So I knew it'd be something different and in particularly unique. And when I went and did see it, because it was mandatory to buy it to go ahead and get your signature, I liked it so much I ended up getting two. Now, that being stated, I ended up going to another signing event, which was only, I think, 3 days later. And that signing event was massive. The other thing about that signing event was there was a CGC witness. So what I ended up doing is taking the books and what's that I wanted to get slabbed, they're witnessed at the other secondary place. And that was that I want to go ahead and nice to have long conversations and talk about unique books. Well, that I bought at the primary location was Things from Another World. Secondary location was at Collector's Paradise in North Hollywood. Now, that being all stated and laid out there, I had reasoning and I was being rather methodical about all this because, one, I do like the stories that are attached to my stories. That's why I like to go to these signing events. That also stated if I'm going to go ahead and get something witnessed, well, then I got to take a little bit more into consideration, which is what books would I do that? And, I got to be strategic in my time and I can't take up too much of the individual's time as I want to talk to them, much like I'm doing right now. So what I like to end up doing is that, and again, I knew I had a lot of time at the primary event. I brought what I want, talked to them, and I knew I wasn't going to get anything slabbed. So I ended up carrying on nice long conversations, and we really started engaging in more personal stuff than just business. And it really kind of enlightened me onto, one, my choice on what I end up selecting, and two, how arduous it is at times for individuals, especially artists, to go ahead and do these events because it asks so much of them that I only end up receiving this when I was asking so much of him. And what I mean by that is I was just asking a lot of questions. I don't believe in any time that I was annoying Joshua as much as I was further extracting information that I don't think he otherwise would normally have released to anyone that wasn't being able to go ahead and gnaw on his ear for a good amount of time, such as I. it gave me a lot of respect and it gave me a lot of delight knowing that he ended up not only signing the books that he did for me, but privied me to information in which that I don't think the average person would normally get. And it allowed me a little bit more personal understanding of not only his works, but how much the books that I ended up choosing for myself now meant to me. Truly. So that being said, let's go ahead and start it off. Now, I'm a huge fan of this whole Energon universe. Now, it started out with Kirkman ended up buying the Hasbro thing, and he ended up wanting to create something different and unique, but along the same lines, wanted to create something that was not only recognizable, but something that brought us back to nostalgic years, but bring it in more contemporary times and tie it all together. So what we got with the Energon universe was a teaser of G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, which actually initiated everything, and obviously Transformers. Now, those are the three primaries in which that we have, but more so in the past that we had so many other lead-ins to these titles that it was a lot to consider. It's, not only to get slabbed, but what I found more or less enjoyable or what I found more and less understandable about the present universe that we're enjoying now in this Energon universe. That all also being stated, I mean, I can go on forever and I already went 6 minutes too long, is that, Christina, how you do? Hope all is well with you. Is that I end up choosing, well, just that, the introduction to this whole universe. So I end up getting, first, this one signed by Josh Williamson. And then I end up finding another one that I really liked and thought would meet, the criteria of getting a 9.8. So I had two signed. Now, looking back in the census, I end up finding out that there's not a whole lot of these things slabbed and signed by him. Now, there might be a few of them out there, but I think I got rather lucky. Truly. When I went to pick these things up, even at Collector's Paradise, the individual behind the register ended up making remarks that he was rather taken back at the grades than was that I got. So, that being stated, I ended up getting the 1 in 100 by John Boy Myers, also signed and graded. Luckily, I did get a 9.8. And this one is really cool. I really like not only, yes, all the neat sparkliness, but it really does capture, in my opinion, the devastation and the action of this kinetic storyline that's presently going on in between the Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals. It's always moving, and there's always devastation in one way or the other, meaning either just the knowledge of understanding of what you've been living was a lie, or the actual battle or the realization that now what you've come to understand is now face to face with you. And sometimes you're fighting for your life in that. Yeah, so I was not only ecstatic about getting that, but like I was leading into, which I'll not segue back, is the individuals behind the register end up seeing the grades that I got on these last two books that I got, which were the exclusives from Things from Another World. I was privy to go through the books and see what the ones that I liked. I did grab the two ones that I liked. And he ended up telling me, meaning the individual at Collector's Paradise, when I got these signed and graded, that he was shocked on my grading. Not only because he's never seen these grades before, but he didn't know that 9.9s existed and wanted to just verify, so he took pictures and sent them into the owner that I know, and just to verify. So, yeah, these are the only two books that are not only submitted, signed by Joshua, but also that received 9.9s. Hey, LJ, how you do? Appreciate you being here. Seriously. So I was not only super ecstatic to get these things back in the grades in which that I did. I've never had 9.9s in my life before. Shocked even to one of the workers at the shops. But I ended up finding out that there's only even like 5 of these things that are signed, I guess. I believe, from our last check. And I was lucky enough to get a 9.8 on it. Now, I only did send out 5. Budget's starting to get real tight. And I really did send out the ones that I liked. Those 2 exclusives, the 1 in 100, and essentially the introduction to the whole Energon universe. Now, there was more in this that I could have submitted that I would want, but at the same point, this encapsulated and captured everything that I guess at present state and in past as the introduction that I truly believe at this point represents not only I would want to have in my collection in the slab form, but obviously in the yellow, in which that and of the writer in which that I have. I think the only thing I would like in addition to what I presently have would be, yeah, to have John Boy sign this possibly. And then there is a whole lot of individuals that contributed to this. So I guess Daniel Warren Johnson was just here, but I'd love to have Kirkman and Warren Johnson actually sign these. I think that would do it for me on that. And that would, because again, for me, these are the books that really do it for me. Other than the fact that Void Rivals is the one that not only started it, but to me is the one that truly holds me tight onto the storylines and lets me and allows me to enjoy the overall storyline that's transpiring outside of just the kinetic and action-packed storyline that's also going on in conjunction and parallel with the underlining storyline of how everything started. But it allows me to truly understand that there was so much to the story that we were missing as kids when Transformers came out or when G.I. Joe was coming out. All we were getting was the action and never got a true understanding or even something that actually meant anything, you know what I mean, of why all this battle was going on. We knew this faction was trying to beat this one. We knew one was good, one was evil. We really didn't have any depth and understanding of what the battles were really about. And now that they're all intertwined, it just so much builds a better universe that ever could have been built before. So that being stated, I want to thank everyone that cruised on in. LJ, Trev, seriously, I mean, you guys are awesome. Christina, as always, appreciate you cruising on by. Jag, it's always great to see you. Las Cruces. And if there's anyone else that I may have missed, did I miss anyone? Trev. Seriously, I appreciate you guys cruising by. I will end up dropping my my Kmart video tomorrow, Tuesday, for New Comic Book Day 2/19/2025. And that's it for me. You guys stay well. That's it for me, Entropy.